Oh, I'm actually blown away at how masterful you are at this. And I hope that people listening bring more awareness into different tonalities, whether they're excited or whether they want to be serious, or, even having Chris Voss on the show. I know he's been a huge influence on you and me, but let's talk about the late night radio voice. I feel like that's your full-time voice. Like I could listen to you for hours, and I'm serious. I think that it sounds amazing, but I think you're going to have to do more than an audiobook. I'm trying to get creative in my head while we're talking. But for those people, let's talk about podcasts, because I know now every man and their dog is starting a podcast. How, like, if you were starting a podcast from scratch and you wanted to command influence and get immediate traction, let's say through your voice. So I want to become famous for my voice. What are three of your top tips for doing that? Like, just strategy wise, to command, let's say, influence, or I'm going to call it power, or just sound sexy. I know there's three different things there, but
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the thing that when you're looking at, you know, I think there's like a climate with podcasts now. I
mhm,
remember that there was, when podcasts first came out, that it started off kind of like the zip zap zop. It was kind of like you know, hey, hi, listen, this is my podcast, blah, 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 ding, 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 here's the news, like kind of like that was like the tone.
yes.
As time went on, it started to be like, oh wait, we're getting these people that used to be so unaccessible, like to be vulnerable. Like
Mm,
this is you got like Jeff Bezos talking to Lex Friedman, right?
yes.
You know, like okay, you got like, the Huberman podcast where, you got this PhD guy, super intelligent, trying to bring, a certain level of humanity to, and not to say that being intelligent is not human, which I think is funny that even I was like, oh, it's human. It's not human to be smart. It's alien. But bring a certain, like down to the ground, because a lot of times intellect kind of can be represented as like a 30,000-foot view of something, and way above everyone's heads. But bringing things down to earth. The late night FM radio DJ voice, which that when I read that and Never Split the Difference, I was like, okay, that was the beginning of thinking like, wait a second, he's talking about like saving lives, doing things, and like the voice specifically. When you think about a late night radio DJ, what time do they come on? They come on like, people are they're either in the bed, on their way to bed, but they're calming down for the evening. And if you are awake, you know, you're not trying to be too hyper. You need to be awake and alert to pay attention. You're not too hyper.
Mm,
So the late night DJ voice isn't necessarily like Bob Ross, where like he would be like, like put the little thing, put the paint here, and it's kind of like you can kind of almost go to sleep.
mm,
The FM DJ voice, like it's just soothing enough so that you're not alarmed. And the value of that when you're negotiating hostages is that there's nothing in your tone that says I'm about to do anything.
mm.
Because you can hear action in somebody's tone. Like when somebody's upset and they're like, oh, I just want to like, wring your neck. You can hear that in someone's voice. But you're sitting there and all I'm doing is playing records. That's all. That's all that's happening. And it's calm, it's calming, and there's nothing in the voice that suggests that you have any malintent.
Mm.
And you personally are calm and safe, and it's warm and inviting. So you have to decide really, what is your podcast? What is the environment like? Are you giving financial tips? Are you having deep, vulnerable conversations with people that they don't normally have? Are you getting people like pumped to like go and do something? The activities with which you intend people to do next. So when you think about what you're saying, think less about what you're saying now, think about what's happening.